Hey guys, it's Heather here, and today we're going to talk about sugar. Sugar, our number one nemesis, the thing that we love, we crave, we can't seem to control those cravings sometimes, um, and yet we know that having sugar is probably one of the worst things that we can have for our health and for weight loss purposes. So let me preface this by saying that reducing the amount of sugar in your diet is probably the number one most impactful change you can make in your nutrition overall to not only help you with weight loss, but to help you feel more energized, to help you think more clearly, and to help your body run more efficiently. So by reducing sugar, you kickstart your fat burning process. So that means weight loss plateaus. You're able to break through those. It will reduce the inflammation in your body. It will balance your stress hormones. It will balance your mood. It will help you sleep better at night. And overall, you're just gonna reduce any declining health issues that you have. You're gonna improve your overall health. So our goal during this challenge is to start really looking for sugars and hidden sugars in our daily nutrition and find places that we can reduce those so that our bodies become less inflamed and better at burning fat, which is what we want our bodies to do. So let's talk about what sugar is first. So we all know that sugar could be white table sugar. We know it could be honey. It could be agave nectar. It could be high fructose corn syrup. I mean, it could be all kinds of things that are sort of labeled as sugar. But sugar is also found in starchy foods. So it could be like your brown rice. It could be your bread, your pasta, and it can also be found in starchy vegetables. So a lot of your root vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes, carrots, those are going to have more sugars in them than some of the other vegetables that you can eat. So you can see there's a wide range of foods that will have sugar in it, and not all sugar is created equally, and not all foods with sugar are going to have the same impact on your blood sugar. Some foods might have sugar in them, but they've got a lot of fiber and other things that kind of they kind of what do I want to say, sort of flatline the effects of the sugar. So we really want to look at all those various kinds of foods when we're looking at sugar. Now, obviously, fruit has sugar, but the important thing to think about is when you're having sugars, you got to have some sugar, right? You can't cut everything out completely, because if you're not eating fruit or you're not eating grains, then the nutrients that come in those foods, you're not going to get those either, and your body needs those. So if you're going to have sugar, it's better to get it from those sources. And as you know, I said, I always like to think about when I'm eating food, am I choosing foods that are giving me nutritional value? So if I'm going to have sugar, I want to at least make sure that that sugar I'm getting comes with a lot of vitamins and minerals too. And I'm going to cut out those sugars that have no nutritional value in them. So, I'm going to have that piece of fruit. Now, I'm not going to have 10 pieces of fruit a day, but I'm going to have a piece of fruit over maybe putting some cookies in my lunch and eating white table sugar. So I want you guys to really start thinking about that when you're looking at your sugars. Now, like I said, not all sugars are created the same. So you want to watch out for the white sugar, the high fructose corn syrup, syrup you might put on your pancakes. Agave nectar is actually not great. You don't want to eat a lot of fructose sugar. A lot of foods will have added sugars like fructose and high fructose corn syrup and white sugar. So you really want to be careful that you're watching out for those. And the kinds of sugar that you really want to have are the natural sugars, like stevia is a great one. The alcohol sugars like xylitol are better for you. You could even go with like a raw honey. Now that's still going to have a little bit of impact on you, but the nice thing about raw honey is that it comes with nutrients. So at least you're going to get the nutrients with that. You can go for dark chocolate, anything that's like 85% dark or more. It would be really great for you. I know it sounds strange to think that chocolate's great for you, but dark chocolate is not as impactful for you. Maybe black strap molasses, raw brown sugar. Those are the kinds of sugars that tend to be better for you. So when you're looking at how much sugar is in a food, here's the rule of thumb. I find this really helpful. So when you're looking at a label, you want to keep your grams of sugar to 5% or less of the total calories. So I'm going to see if I can explain this to you. But for example, if you were to eat a food item that had 100 calories in it, you want that food item to have 5 grams or less sugar in it. So if I were to look at a food that wasn't 100 calories, I would say, okay, what's 5% of that calorie amount? And whatever that amount is, then I want that amount or less grams of sugar in that food item. So one of the things I did when looking at Shakeology is I looked at the sugar count, because I know a lot of protein shakes and meal replacement shakes will have a lot of sugar in it. And I wanted to make sure that the superfood shake I was using didn't have too much sugar in it per the calories. So I like the chocolate vegan. I look at the calorie amount for that one, and the calorie amount is 170 per serving. So 5% of that is roughly 9 grams of sugar. So if you look at the chocolate vegan, I think it's right at 8 grams. So it's just under that amount. And then some of the other Shakeology flavors are at 6 or 7 grams. So it's actually, not over the amount, which is pretty hard to find when you're looking at any kind of like protein or superfood shake. So that was a plus in my book to find that. And I appreciated that most of the sweetness was coming from things like stevia, cacao, which is like a chocolate flavoring. Lo hangao is another superfood that it has a sweet flavor to it. So a lot of these sort of natural sweeteners in it, and not any fake or artificial sweeteners or high fructose corn syrup. So that's kind of a little tip for you to use as you're looking at things. How many grams of sugar are in it. Now, where you're going to find hidden sugars are things like salad dressings, any kind of sauces that you're putting on foods. It could even be in things like sun-dried tomatoes. So whenever you can, really look at the packaging of things, and especially anything that's packaged that's kind of man-made. Oftentimes there's added sugar to it, and you just want to avoid that added sugar at any amount that you can. Now, what you're going to notice when you start cutting the sugars out, what happens to your body is your body's kind of gotten used to running on sugar for fuel. And when it doesn't have the sugar, your body craves it, because it's like, well, I know how to burn sugar, and I'm a sugar burner. I need more sugar to keep my energy going. And if you're a sugar burner, you're going to find that if you're not eating every couple of hours, you're going to have that blood sugar drop, and you're going to feel irritable, unfocused, cranky, and you're going to start craving sugar, and you're going to be looking for that next meal. If you can shift your body to burning more fat, then you're going to find that you can go a little bit longer without eating, that you're not going to have those mood swings, and you're not going to have those harsh cravings. So as you start to wean yourself off sugar and you start eating, more whole foods without sugar, more proteins, more healthy fats, your body is going to start needing to pull from the fat reserves and start needing to learn how to burn body fat for energy. And you're going to find a more stable energy level. And overall, that's just better for your health, because unstable blood sugar is so stressful for your body, and it drains your body. And you really don't want to put that kind of stress on your body. So I know this is a lot of sort of science talk for you guys, but the more I learn about sugar, I'm pretty adamant about reducing sugar as much as you can, because I do feel like it is probably one of the worst things that we do to our body. And it's probably one of the things that's always in the way of us reaching our health and fitness goals. So if we can start reducing the sugar in our diet, we're going to do ourselves a huge benefit in many ways. So today what I'd like for you to share below is 1 to 2, say hi to Bandit, my little office partner. 1 to 2 ways that you can cut out sugar in your diet today, this week, during the rest of the challenge, something that you're really ready to be committed to. Oh, and let me say before I jump off here, because I didn't touch on it, I definitely want to make sure that you understand that substituting an artificial sweetener for regular sugar because it has no calories is not an okay alternate, because sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, will have the same impact on your body. And in fact, what happens is you taste that food and your mind goes, oh my gosh, nutrients are coming. I got to send all the chemicals and the digestive molecules and stuff down to the stomach so we can start processing and absorbing these nutrients. But when all that stuff gets there, there's no nutrients because there's no calories in that. So then your mind says, we didn't get enough nutrients. Okay, we got to eat more. Keep eating, keep eating, keep eating. So eating artificial sweeteners will actually make you want to eat more food because your body feels like it's supposed to be getting nutrition, but it's not. And that's not even to touch on that artificial sweeteners are toxic to your body and they're neurotoxins. So they actually make it hard for your neurological system to operate properly and for your brain to function properly. So for those 2 reasons, artificial sweeteners, cut them out. That's your Splenda, that's your Sweet and Low, that's aspartame that's in Diet Cokes, all of that stuff. It's time to kick that to the curb because it's just not healthy for you in general. I'd actually rather you eat like white table sugar than to do an artificial sweetener. All right, guys, so that was my spiel on sugar today. Again, share below 1 to 2 ways that you're going to reduce that sugar in your diet. Start paying attention to that and see how you can get your body to be more of a fat